Well, Mr. Descano, your policy tells prosecutors to give lighter treatment to defendants based on their immigration status. Isn't that just discrimination with a sympathetic face? And why are you protecting criminal illegal aliens more than the people of Fairfax County?
I apologize for the individuals that have held onto these irresponsible policies, costing the lives of many, many innocent Americans. So I apologize. Mr. Kennedy, I appreciate your passion. You're right on target. Mr. Descano, I consider you a disgrace.
A grieving mother sat in that hearing room. And then lawmakers started asking a question that changed the entire tone of the hearing. Why are local officials refusing to fully cooperate with IC after repeat arrests? What followed was a brutal clash over sanctuary policies, public safety, and who the system is really protecting. Subscribe. You need to see this.
Thank you, sir. I'm sorry, Ms. Minter, what a very story. Stephanie, the numerous pictures we saw, beautiful. I apologize for the individuals that have held onto these irresponsible policies, costing the lives of many, many innocent Americans. So I apologize. Mr. Kennedy, I appreciate your passion. You're right on target. Mr. Descano, well, Ms. Sheriff Kincaid, thank you for your service. Mr. Descano, I consider you a disgrace. I yield the rest of my balance of my time to my colleague, Mr. Cline.
I thank the gentleman, and I thank the chairman for allowing me to sit on this panel today. I represent the vast majority of Virginia citizens who stand with you, Ms. Minter, and who are so sorry for the tragedy that occurred. And our prayers are with you and with your daughter, who is in heaven looking down on this right now. And, you know, I heard your apology, Mr. Descano. I think the public would like to hear your resignation. Let me ask you, when Abdul Jala is released, will you honor an ICE detainer?
Sir, my office is a prosecuting office. We don't receive ICE detainers. That's not our business.
Will you, Sheriff Kincaid, will you honor the ICE detainer?
Well, thank you for that question. And I would certainly hope that this case would be prosecuted and that justice would be served. Certainly when it comes to Mr. Jala, there hasn't been ICE detainers with the exception of one time in 2018, which we turned him over to ICE, and then the second time, which we had to release him to a facility. Each other time he's been in my custody, there's been no detainers.
If one comes, will you honor it?
As long as I have the authority to do so, and ICE knows what our policy is.
Then yes?
If I'm given a judicial warrant, yes.
That's different.
Well, it's what gives me the authority to detain somebody when I receive a court order from a judge mandating someone's release. I would also hope that ICE would know when Mr. Jala is getting released so that they would be able to come and pick him up. And we do plan, should he get convicted, we do plan on taking him, driving him down to the Department of Corrections.
All right. Well, Mr. Descano, your policy tells prosecutors to give lighter treatment to defendants based on their immigration status. Isn't that just discrimination with a sympathetic face? And why are you protecting criminal illegal aliens more than the people of Fairfax County, the citizens?
Well, first of all, sir, I think there's two things wrong with it in the question that you asked me. We're not protecting undocumented individuals. As a matter of fact, we prosecute people who commit crimes in Fairfax County regardless of their status. So the idea that we don't do that is simply wrong. Our policies simply maintain that our role is to prosecute Virginia crime. That's what we do. ICE's role is to do federal civil immigration enforcement.
Mr. Miyares, you disagree with that?
Fundamentally, he has a written policy to that effect. He is conflating two different issues. He's simply saying, well, I prosecute all crimes. At the same time, he has a written policy saying that illegal immigrants are going to be treated and given preferential treatment differently from American citizens. On one hand, he sits in front of this committee and says, we don't follow sanctuary policies. At the same time, he openly admits he conducts himself in a manner in which he does not cooperate with federal immigration authorities. That's the very definition of sanctuary policies. No, I fundamentally disagree with his assessment. There are 95 counties in Virginia, Congressman. Only one county with one prosecutor has a written policy saying we're going to treat illegal immigrants differently than American citizens. It is Mr. Toscano to my left, period, full stop.
Well, I know that when ICE does work with localities, the system can work. I worked in the Harrisonburg, Rockingham Commonwealth's Attorney's Office. They had a 287G agreement with ICE, and when individuals who were prosecuted, who were here illegally, eventually served their sentences, they were met by ICE. They were retrieved by ICE and returned to their countries of origin. The people of Rockingham and Harrisonburg benefited from that policy because the streets were safer, and people who committed crimes were not returned to the communities that they threatened prior to their arrest. So, you know, the people who are here in Fairfax, from Fairfax, stand and answer the ranking member's question about, well, I've run out of time, so I hope I can get some more time because people who are working hard in Fairfax County deserve to not just feel safe, as the ranking member indicated, but actually are safe.
The gentleman's time has expired.
What you just watched was not just another immigration hearing. It was a collision between two completely different views of justice, public safety, and government responsibility. One side argued that local prosecutors should focus strictly on state crimes and leave immigration enforcement to the federal government. The other side argued something much deeper. That refusing to cooperate with federal immigration authorities effectively creates a parallel system. One where immigration status can influence how justice is applied. That's why this hearing became so tense. Because beneath the legal arguments was a more emotional question. Who is government ultimately protecting first? The exchange over IC detainers exposed the real divide. Critics argued that sanctuary-style policies don't just change procedure, they change incentives, weaken coordination, and potentially allow repeat offenders to re-enter communities after release. Supporters argue local governments shouldn't become extensions of federal immigration enforcement. But opponents see it differently. If someone repeatedly enters the criminal justice system and agencies still refuse full cooperation with IC, they believe public safety eventually becomes secondary to politics. And that's why these hearings resonate so strongly with voters. Not because immigration itself is new, but because Americans increasingly feel the system is struggling to answer a basic question clearly. Should enforcement systems prioritize legal consistency first, or political and institutional boundaries first? That's the deeper argument underneath this entire exchange. Drop your thoughts below. Like, comment, share, and subscribe for deeper political breakdowns. No spin. No fluff. Just the agenda.